Murder on the Rails. 10 chilling tales from British railway history. Welcome back to Creepshow, where the tracks of history echo with dark secrets and forgotten crimes. Tonight we're boarding a train to the past, uncovering chilling tales of murder and mayhem on Britain's historic railway system. For nearly 200 years, the British railways have carried passengers across cities and countryside, promising convenience and adventure. But beneath the rhythm of the wheels lies a shadowy history, a history of greed, betrayal, and violence. So grab your tickets and settle in as we journey through 10 gruesome murders that took place on Britain's railways. Trust us, this is one train ride you won't forget. Number 10. Murder in Balcombe Tunnel, 1881. On June 27, 1881, Isaac Gold, a coin dealer, boarded a train heading from London to his Brighton home. He settled into a first-class smoking compartment, unaware of the sinister fate awaiting him. A fellow passenger, Percy Lefroy Mapleton, shared the compartment. As the train neared Balcombe Tunnel, Mapleton attacked Gold, slitting his throat before throwing his body out of the moving train. Mapleton, drenched in blood, alighted at Brighton's Preston Park station, claiming he had been attacked. His story quickly unraveled under police questioning. Mapleton's attempt to hide his crime was clumsy. The gold watch he stole from Gold was found stuffed in his shoe, and he dumped other stolen items down the police station's pipes. When Gold's body was discovered in the tunnel, Mapleton fled, triggering a nationwide manhunt. The Daily Telegraph published the first-ever police sketch, helping officers capture Mapleton. He was convicted and hanged, but not before his case showcased the growing power of the press in aiding justice. Number 9. Britain's first private execution, 1868. Edward Walsh, stationmaster at Dover Priory, had long been at odds with 18-year-old porter Thomas Wells. Walsh considered Wells insubordinate. Wells believed his boss abused his power. On May 1, 1868, after yet another reprimand in front of a superintendent, Wells snapped. Retrieving a concealed pistol, he returned to Walsh's office and shot him point-blank in the head. Caught minutes later, Wells was tried and sentenced to death. His execution on August 13, 1868, marked a grim milestone. It was Britain's first private hanging, conducted under new laws requiring executions to occur inside prisons. Journalists reported the details, ensuring the public still bore witness to the final moments of a young man who let his rage derail his life. Number 8. The Murder of John Nisbit, 1910. John Nisbit, a clerk for Stobbswood Colliery Company, boarded a train on March 18, 1910, carrying $370 in wages. By journey's end, he was dead, shot in the head, and the money was gone. Suspicion fell on John Dickman, a fellow passenger. Blood stains and gold sovereigns found in Dickman's home tied him to the crime. But the evidence was circumstantial at best. The case was riddled with inconsistencies. Nisbit's wounds suggested 2 shooters, and no witness could definitively place the men together at the time of the murder. Despite protests and doubts, Dickman was convicted and executed on August 9, 1910. To this day, some argue his innocence, claiming he was a scapegoat for an unsolved crime. Number 7. The Railway Thieves Turned Murderers, 1895. In Wigan, a string of train depot thefts led to a deadly encounter. On September 3rd, detectives Robert Kidd and William Osborne staked out the station, spotting a thief attempting to break into a wagon. As they moved in, the thief's accomplices emerged, armed with knives and cudgels. The attackers fled, leaving Kidd fatally wounded. The hunt for the gang led to 3 arrests: Elijah Winstanley, William Kearsley, and William Halliwell. Halliwell turned informant, and Winstanley confessed to the murder, sparing Kearsley the noose. Winstanley was hanged, his crime a grim reminder of how desperation and greed can spiral into violence. Number 6. The Murder of William Pearson, 1901. Rhoda King never imagined her routine train ride to London would turn into a nightmare. Sharing her compartment with an older gentleman, William Pearson, and a towering young man named George Parker, the journey seemed uneventful. until Parker returned from the lavatory with a revolver. Parker shot Pearson in the eye, killing him instantly, and turned the gun on King. Remarkably, she survived a shot to the face, calming Parker enough to convince him to discard the weapon. Her bravery led to Parker's capture at the next station. Tried and convicted, Parker was executed for his senseless act of violence. Number 5. The Strange Murder of Arthur Mead, 1936. When Arthur Mead was found dying of a gunshot wound aboard a train, he told police he'd been attacked by a stranger. But the truth was far stranger. Investigators discovered Mead had used a humane killer gun, designed for slaughtering animals, to take his own life. Why he framed it as a murder remains a mystery, adding a peculiar twist to this otherwise tragic tale of despair. Number 4. The Merstham Tunnel. Mystery, 1905. Mary Sophia. Money's body was found mangled in Merstham Tunnel, her face gagged with a scarf. Witnesses recalled seeing her board a train with a mysterious man, but he vanished without a trace. Police suspected a lover's quarrel gone wrong, but could never identify the man. Years later, suspicion fell on Mary's brother, Robert, who would later murder his family before taking his own life. The Merstham Tunnel case remains unsolved, a haunting reminder of lives lost to shadows. Number 3. The Netherby Hall Burglary, 1885. A gang of robbers fleeing a daring heist at Netherby Hall encountered police at Kingstown Station. Armed and dangerous, the thieves shot one officer and beat another. Their escape was foiled when railway staff organized a counterattack, capturing the gang after a bloody struggle. 3 of the men were hanged for their crimes, their violent rampage bringing swift justice, and a sobering lesson in the perils of greed. Number 2. Britain's first modern execution, 1900. Louisa Masset, a Frenchwoman living in England, despised her 3-year-old son Manfred. Resentful of her obligations, she murdered him at Dalston Junction Station to avoid taking him to live with his father. Her cold-blooded crime shocked Victorian society. Convicted and hanged at Newgate Prison, Louisa became the first person executed in Britain in the 20th century. Her story, a chilling tale of maternal betrayal. Number 1. The Murder of Elizabeth Camp, 1897. Elizabeth Camp became the first woman killed aboard a British train. Her body discovered beaten and bloodied beneath a second-class seat. Despite numerous suspects, from debtors to unstable strangers, police never identified her killer. Witnesses reported a man hastily leaving her compartment at Wandsworth Station, but he was never caught. Elizabeth's murder joined the ranks of London's unsolved Victorian crimes, a chilling reminder that not every killer is brought to justice. These stories remind us that even the safest journeys can be derailed by darkness. Thank you for traveling with us on Creepshow, where history's forgotten crimes come back to haunt us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us next time for more chilling tales, if you dare.